So in the last session, we covered related to modifiers concept. I mean related to overriding rules. In that, the last rule we covered with respect to modifiers concept. Here, while overriding, we can't reduce the scope of access modifier. Correct or not? If the parent class method is public, compulsory child class method should be public only. If the parent class method is the public, compulsory child class method should be public only. Sir, why? Why this restriction is there? Some people may ask the internal reason. The people who can able to think, you can analyze. Otherwise, the required point already we covered. Okay. While overriding, we can't reduce the scope of access modifier. Just remember the rule. The people who want to know internal reason, the people who want to think, who can able to think, just listen for few minutes. Here, see this one. Sir, I have class P. I have one class P. Public void M1 method. Class P, public void M1 method is there. In the parent class, M1 method is there. Now I am taking class C, extends P. Class C, extends P is nothing but like we have. Class C extends P like this. Now the target is, make sure you people should aware. Sir, I didn't override. Take a bit carefully. It is not that much easy thing. So here I didn't override this method. Now parent P is equal to new child. Assume that parent P is equal to new child. Parent reference can be used to hold child object, right? Okay. Yes, it is public method. Yes, this method is the public method. Outside person also can call this method. Correct or not? Yes, any person can call. Either local persons can call, outside person can call. Now, so outside person call P dot M1. Parent reference, child object. Then P dot M1. Which method got called? Which method is going to be executed? I didn't override. Which method is going to execute? Parent method only. Because in the child class I didn't override that method. Correct or not? Okay. Parent class method will execute. Almost around 100 outside people are accessing in this style. 100 outside people are accessing M1 method in this style. Suppose tomorrow what I thought is, was I want to override this method in the child class. Already 100 people outside people are accessing this M1 method. But what I did is, was I want to override this method. I want to override this method like tomorrow I am trying to override. Okay. If I am trying to override, suppose void M1, I reduce access modifier. Void M1, I reduce access modifier, right? I mean default I kept. Now observe this one. Now onwards, if I override, assume even I am taking public. Now onwards, for this person requirement, either parent method will execute or child method will execute. Child method will execute. If you are not overriding, which method is going to execute? Parent method. 100 outside people are accessing that M1 method. Suddenly what you thought, what you did is, you override this method. Are you getting? If I override this method, now onward, for all these 100 members, which method is going to respond? Child class method. Because parent reference, child object. That's why which method is going to come is nothing but child class method by default will come into the picture. Now the problem is, if I didn't keep this modifier, default modifier, is it possible to access outside people? Outside people, requirement is nothing but M1 method. Child object is, runtime object is the child object. So for them, this method is the required method. Correct or not? For them, this method is the required method. But this method is not public, then all those people are unable to access this method. Those people may get compile time or runtime methods, right? Okay? Because of our overriding, outside people are affecting. Are you getting that? Okay, this. So earlier, happily those people enjoyed with this method. Suddenly tomorrow I override this method with the default modifier. Public is not there. Default modifier. Then outside people are unable to access this method. They may get compile time method or they may get runtime exceptions while accessing this method. Because if it is not public, then where we can access this method? Within the current package only. Outside package not allowed to access. Then all those outside members are unable to access this M1 method. Immediately compile time method or runtime exceptions by default we will get. Are you able to understand? our overriding should not affect outside people. Are you getting that? So without overriding, this method accessed by several outside people. After overriding, this method also should be accessed by same set of people. If possible, more number of people can access, but the people who are already accessing, they should not be affected. So like that we have to override. Overriding minimum thumb rule, minimum funda, outside people because of our overriding should not be affected. Like that we have to override. That's why if it is the public, several people are accessing, but now I override at the default, then all those people, is it possible to access this method? No. Our overriding creates some problem to the outside person. That's why this overriding is nothing but invalid. Suppose here, see, sir, parent class method is the default. Who can access this method? Who can access this method? The people who are belongs to same package can access. Now I am keeping, sir, why same default only. Then the same set of people can access this method or not? Yes, no problem at all. Same set of people can access. Suppose I am taking public. Sir, the people who are accessing this method can able to access this method or not? Yes, because public, default package, default current package people can access. Not only current people, some more extra people also can access. Is it more advantage or not? Yes, that's why if you want, you can increase the scope, but we can't decrease the scope. Are you getting the point, right? Why is the internal reason while accessing, while overriding methods, why scope of access modifier we can't reduce? Because outside people, there may be a chance of affecting. Is it clear for all of you? Right? Okay, this is, so the internal reason why is nothing but like. Now the next rule, okay, this is about the rule related to access modifiers, right? Now the next rule, observe this point well. What is the next rule here is, take very special care about this point, right? What is our next rule is, I hope you people may aware checked exception, unchecked exception. In the exceptions, very important question for the interview room. What is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception? I hope you people may aware. Okay, here see. I won't explain as of now. In the exception handling we will discuss, but which are checked, which are unchecked, compulsory you people should have clarity. Do you know which class acts as a root for all exception classes or for Java exception hierarchy? Which class acts as the root? Throwable class acts as a root for all Java for exception hierarchy. Throwable class contain how many child classes are there? 2 child classes are there. Exception and second one is nothing but error. Exception and error. Exception contain, there are some more child classes. Have you remembered? So runtime exception. This runtime exception, once again, null pointer exception, class cast exception, arithmetic exception, ... Okay, there are several classes are there under runtime exception. Similar to runtime exception, IO exception is there. Sir, IO exception is there. Do you know, for the IO exception also, there are several child classes are there. Can you spell out what those things are? File not found exception. Sir, file not found exception. EOF exception. File not found exception, EOF exception, okay, ... Okay, similar to IO, interrupted exception is there. Interrupted exception is there. Next, servlet exception is there. Next, remote exception ... There are several exceptions are there. Next, even there are several errors also. VM error. Can you tell what is the VM error? VM error, virtual machine error. In that out of memory error, stack overflow error, several things are there. But now my question is, so I don't want to explain what is checked, what is unchecked. In the exception we will discuss, but related to overriding, a small rule, our requirement. That's why which are checked, which are unchecked, you should aware. Can you tell among all which are checked exceptions, which are unchecked exceptions? Okay, there is one thumb rule is there to identify or to check these are the checked exceptions, these are the unchecked exceptions, right? What the thumb rule? Runtime exception and its child classes. Are you getting? Runtime exception and its child classes. Error and its child classes. Sir, have you observed? Runtime exception and its child classes. Error and its child classes are unchecked. Are you getting? Runtime exception and its child classes. Error and its child classes are unchecked. Except these, the remaining are by default considered as checked exceptions, right? Okay, this is. Now can you tell throwable is a checked or not? Except these, remaining are checked. Throwable, checked or not? Checked. Exception, checked. IO exception, checked. File not found exception, checked exception. All these things are checked except these things. Okay? Arithmetic exception, checked or unchecked? Unchecked. Null pointer exception, unchecked. Class cast exception, unchecked. Runtime exception, unchecked. Error, unchecked. Virtual machine error, unchecked. Out of memory. So except error and its child classes, runtime exception and its child classes are unchecked, except that the total remaining is what? Checked exceptions, right? Make sure this point you should aware to continue our overriding rules. Are you getting? Now here IO exception, is it a checked or unchecked? IO exception, checked or unchecked? Checked. File not found exception, checked. EOF exception, checked. Sir, can you tell interrupted exception? Checked. Which is the parent class of interrupted exception? Which is the parent class of interrupted exception? Exception. Are you getting? Which is the parent of EOF exception? IO exception. Which is the parent of file not found exception? IO exception. Observe this, because this knowledge you people should have to remember or to conclude one more overriding rule. What is the rule here is observe. So, which are checked, which are unchecked, I hope you people got the basic idea, because this concept I will discuss in detail in exception handling, but you should remember, okay, which are checked, which are unchecked, like. Now, so I have to tell some possible examples. You have to decide which are valid and which are invalid. Just observe this one. Sir, case 1, let me talk. Case 1 or first one. There are multiple examples I am going to cover. First one, parent class. Sir, first one I am taking parent class. Parent class method is public void M1. Public void M1 throws exception. Public void M1 throws exception. So child class method is public void M1. That's all. Parent class method throws exception. Child class method doesn't throw any exception. This is the first one. Second one, parent class method public void M1. Okay. Child class method public void M1. Public void M1 throws exception. Sir, have you observed? Parent class method doesn't throw exception, but child class method throws exception. Okay, observe. Third one, parent public void M1 throws exception. Sir, parent class method throws exception. Child class method public void M1 throws IO exception. Okay. Next, parent class method public void M1 throws IO exception. Child class method public void M1 throws exception. Have you observed? Parent class method throws IO exception. Child class method throws exception. Which is the parent, which is the child? IO exception is the child, exception is the parent, you know, according to our diagram. Next, fifth one. Okay, here see. Parent class method, fifth one, observe, parent class method. Public void M1, public void M1 throws IO exception. Public void M1 throws IO exception. Child class method, public void M1 throws file not found exception. Throws file not found exception, comma EOF exception. File not found exception, comma EOF exception. Okay, like now how many cases we covered? 5 cases, right? Now the 6th and 7th, there are just only 2 more cases. Parent class method, public void M1, public void M1 throws public void M1 throws. Okay, here I am taking instead of IO. Okay, throws IO exception. Take a bit special care. Child class method, public void M1, public void M1 throws public void M1 throws. Here observe EOF exception, comma interrupted exception. EOF exception, comma interrupted exception. Next, here last case. Public void M1, public void M1 throws, public void M1 throws. Here observe a bit carefully. IO exception, throws IO exception. Next, child class method, public void M1 throws arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class cast exception. That's all. Okay, total 7 cases are there, I hope. Now among these 7, which are valid, which are invalid? Which are valid overriding, which are invalid overriding? First one valid, second one, first one valid, second one invalid, third one valid, fourth one invalid, fifth one valid, sixth one invalid, seventh one valid. Are getting which are valid, which are invalid? You have to decide. Think a bit carefully. I didn't cover any rule, but just check. Let me check your knowledge first. So that once I cover that rule, you can able to tell yes, which are valid, which are invalid very confidently. First one, 100% pakka. First one, don't keep any doubt. First one valid. Automatically second one invalid. If the second is invalid, automatically third one valid. If the third is valid, fourth one invalid. If the fourth is invalid, fifth one valid. If fifth is valid, sixth one invalid. Automatically seventh one valid. If eighth one is there, invalid, right? Correct or not? Yes? Up to 7 only. So eighth one not there. Let me remember. Now, anywhere answer change is required. Seventh one? Anywhere answer change, is it required? Yes. Make sure one simple point. All answers whatever there on the board perfectly valid. Correct? Can you please cross check once again? So which are valid and which are invalid? You have to decide. Which are valid, which are invalid? So is it required to keep anywhere change? Can you please cross check? First one, second, third. Anywhere change is required? Fourth one is valid, but I kept as invalid. Seventh one is invalid actually, but I kept as valid. Simple. ఇవన్నీ కరెక్ట్ అయినప్పుడు ఇది ఒక్కటి ఎందుకు రాంగ్ అయితే? దట్ ఆన్సర్ మే బీ కరెక్ట్. అయ్యో ఎస్. ఓకే, మేక్ ష్యూర్ you people should have clarity, right? What is the point here is, take a bit special care. The point here is, make sure you should aware. The point here is, observe. Whatever answers I wrote on the board, perfectly all are correct answers only. So even the sequence is there in the answers. Right, wrong, like, are valid, invalid, valid, invalid. There is a sequence, but all the answers are perfectly correct. What is the rule first? Then you will come to know what is the rule. Take a bit special care. Most of the people are getting confusion in this case only. Let me explain the rule. If child class method throws any checked exception, if child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent. Are you getting that? Okay, this is, let me repeat once again. If a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory the parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent. Are you getting? If the parent class method doesn't throw, but still child class method is throwing that checked exception, immediately compile time error you are going to get. Are you getting? Let me repeat once again. If a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory the parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent, otherwise we will get compile time error. Then immediately you may ask, sir, what about unchecked exception? There are no restrictions for unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions you can write anywhere. For the parent method any number, for the child method any number. No comparison is required for unchecked exception. The rule is available only for what? Checked exceptions, right? Are you able to understand? First take this one and then I will explain. Okay, can you repeat the rule once? Can you repeat? Ayo, yes. If child class method throws any checked exception, child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent. Are you getting at this point? If child class method throws, child class method throws any checked exception, child class method throws any checked exception, any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception, parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent, should throw the same checked exception or its parent, otherwise we will get compile time error, but there are no restrictions for unchecked exceptions. That's all. I hope you people can aware clearly. So what is the rule? Okay, this is, sir, let me repeat once again. If a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its a parent, otherwise compile time error, right? Now you know the rule. Now let me discuss the first one. Here see, sir, in the first example, if the child class method throws any checked exception, no. If child doesn't throw any checked exception, not required to worry at all, valid. Okay, valid. Second case, child class method throws exception which is the checked or unchecked? Checked. If it is the checked, have you observed? If it is the checked, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception or its parent, but the parent class method doesn't throw. That's why invalid, right? Sir, child class method throws checked exception, but parent class method doesn't throw, invalid. Third one, have you observed? Child class method throws what? IO exception. Parent class method throws what? Exception which is the parent. Acceptable or not? Yes, no problem. Next up, child class method throws exception. Parent class method throws IO exception. Sorry, it is the child. But if a child class method throws any checked exception, parent class method should throw the same or parent but not child. That's why invalid, right? Okay. Next, child class method throws what? File not found exception. But parent class method throws IO, which is the parent only. Child class method throws EOF, but parent class method throws IO, which is the parent only. So no problem at all, acceptable, right? Okay. Next, here say child class method throws EOF exception, but parent class method throws IO exception, no problem at all. Child class method throws interrupted exception, but parent class method doesn't throw interrupted exception. Are you getting? So IO is not parent of interrupted. That's why interrupted exception parent class method doesn't throw. That's why the code won't compile. Okay, compile time method we are getting. Next, last one. Child class method throws which exceptions? Arithmetic, null pointer, class cast. What these things? Unchecked exception. Unchecked exception we are not required to check anything. So child class method doesn't throw any checked exception. So we are not required to worry at all. Itself is the valid. Are you able to understand that? Okay, sir. I want to execute at least one case. One case. So which case you want me to execute? Huh? First one valid. Valid case executing what thing you are going to get? Nothing. Now I want to execute one case. Which one you want me? 6-1. Okay, here see. Okay, well, why 6-1 is invalid? Can you tell the reason? Child class method throws interrupted exception. Parent class method doesn't throw interrupted exception. That is the problem. Do you know what exact comparative error you are going to get in the sixth case? Legend Anna. M1 in C cannot override M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. What is the reason for that? Overridden method. Overridden method. Sir, which is the overridden method? Parent class method or child class method? Parent class method is called overridden method. Child class method is called overriding method. Overridden method doesn't throw. Overridden method doesn't throw java.lang. Interrupted exception. Are you getting? Sir, parent class method doesn't throw java.lang. Interrupted exception. That's why this overriding is invalid overriding, like comparative method we are going to get. Clear indication what mistake we are doing. Sir, child method throws interrupted exception, but parent method doesn't throw. That's why the problem came. Are you getting? Now observe this one. Let me execute this code. Now 1 minute. Let me execute this code so that you can aware clear, like 1 minute. Okay, here just observe. So I'm taking here say, sir, this is class P, public void M1, and a parent class method throws what? IO exception. Okay, child class method throws what? Throws EOF exception. EOF exception is end of file exception, comma, what is the next one? Interrupted exception. Interrupted exception, right? But anyway, do you know, here make sure IO exception, EOF exceptions present in which class? IO package. That's why import java.io.star I'm taking. Okay, let me save this code as p.java. Okay, like so. Just observe, sir. Is it valid or invalid? Oh, valid or invalid? Invalid. Now let me consider this one. Java C p.java. Compile method we are going to get. Can you please read Anna? What is that error? M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. Overridden method. Overridden method does not throw java.lang.interrupted exception. Like the problem came. Sir, now what I want to do? Sir, parent class method also throws interrupted exception. Comma, interrupted exception like I kept. Sir, parent class method also throws IE. Can you tell is it valid or not? Yes, perfectly valid overriding. Are you getting? Yes, valid overriding, right? Now, sir, parent class method throws exception. Valid or not? Valid, no problem at all. Valid, like, okay, this is. Sir, parent class method doesn't throw anything, but child class method throws some checked exception. Valid or invalid? Invalid. Compile time methods by default we are going to get. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, this is. So make sure that's what you have to aware. Okay, take 1 minute. What you can take here is 1 minute. Okay, here take this example. Example directly. Import. Take this example first. Coding example first. Import java.io.star class P public void M1 throws IO exception. Class C extends P public void M1 throws EOF exception, comma, interrupted exception. Throws EOF exception, comma, interrupted exception. Is it valid or invalid? Invalid. Completed, right? Okay, now add that compile time error also. So can you please write from the screen only directly? M1 in C, add compile time error. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P, semicolon. Overridden method does not throw java.lang.interrupted exception. Overridden method does not throw java.lang.interrupted exception. Java.lang.interrupted exception. Java.lang.interrupted exception. Okay, this is. Are you able to understand, right? So this is why we are getting. Now take all these things now. Take 1, 2, 3 like all. Take all the seven options. Completed, right? Take all 7 throws exception, throws IO exception. Next, throws IO exception like file not found exception, EOF exception. Completed, right? Take all possibilities. Completed, I hope. Public void M1 throws IO exception. Public void M1 throws arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class cast exception. Class cast exception like completed, right? Okay, so that's all. This is the rule related to exceptions. So what is the overriding rule like? Sir, here you people may have, sir, can you please explain internal reason also? The people can able to think. Who can able to think? Just listen. Otherwise, remember the rule. That's all. What is the internal reason? Yes, there is a clear reason is there. Let me explain. Completed, right? Okay. Now, why? What is the rule? Why this rule came? Internal reason. Is there any internal reason for this? So make sure you people should aware. What is the internal reason? Simple. The people who can able to think, you can. Otherwise, you can leave this this part especially. Here see, sir, I have one parent class method is there, class P. I have one parent class method is there, class P. Parent class method contain public void M1 method is there. Sir, here see, public void M1. Class C extends P. Class C extends P like this. Sir, here assume throws IO exception is there. Sir, if a method throws a checked exception, what it means? The caller is responsible to handle. Are you getting that? If any method throw some exception, what is the meaning of that? Was the person who is calling this method, you are responsible to handle IO exception, either by try catch or by throws keyword. Compulsory caller is responsible to handle this exception. Suppose I am calling M1, just observe. I am calling M1, sir. So parent P is equal to new child. I am calling M1. I am calling M1. Now I am responsible to handle this exception. Maybe this method call I will keep. This method call I will keep inside what? Try, catch, What is that exception? IO exception, like I can handle, then only the code is going to compile. If you are not going to handle, compile time error we are going to get. So if any method throws some checked exception, compulsory the caller is responsible to handle that exception. Are you getting? The caller is responsible to handle that exception, right? Okay, make sure you people should aware, right? Okay, now the point, take very carefully. Sir, I didn't override this method and it's a public method. Thousands of outside people are accessing my method, but thousands of outside people are responsible to handle which exception? Thousands of outside people are responsible to handle which exception? IO exception. What they did is try catch IO exception, right? Because which method is executing? Parent class method executing. Now I am taking, sir, I want to override this method. Take a special care. Tomorrow I want to override. If I am overriding this method, public void M1 method, sir, public void M1 method throws IO I am taking. Public void M1 throws IO. Now onwards, which method is going to execute for all 1000 people? Child class method. Child class method throws what? IO. Already these people already handling IO, that's why there is no effect for these people. But now onwards, for these people this method is going to execute. Are you getting? Suppose I am taking, instead of IO exception, throws exception. Now for these people, actually this method has to execute, correct or not? But this method throws what? Exception. But these people can handle what? Only IO exception, but not exception. Then immediately these people are going to get compile time error. Boss, you are calling M1 compile time error or runtime exception. Boss, you are calling M1, but M1 throws exception, but you are handling only IO exception. Where you are handling exception, I can't compile this code or I can't run this code, like the problem is going to come. Are you getting my point, right? Okay, this is, that's why our overriding affecting outside people. Are you getting? That's why if a parent class method throws IO at a child level, what we have to take, you can take either same IO, correct or not? We can take either same IO or we can take it's a child, is nothing but either EOF exception or file not found exception, no problem. Or if you don't want to keep throws keyword first, no problem at all. Even though this person handling that you are not throwing anything, then happily this person can feel free. Are you getting? Our overriding should not affect outside person. Are you getting? Because of that, if a parent class method throws some exception, without overriding these people can handle up to that exception only. While overriding, you can't increase, we can't rise checked exception level. If you want, you can take its child types, right? That's why the conclusion is, if a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw same checked exception or it's a parent. This is the internal reason why this concept is required. The people who can able to think, you can, otherwise you can ignore. Rule is clear. If a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw the same checked exception or it's a parent. Are you getting? Otherwise compile time error we are going to get. But there are no restrictions for unchecked exceptions, right? Any explanation is required or not? That's all. Next, so these are various rules related to overriding. Total how many rules we cover? Can you please cross check? There are several rules we covered related to overriding. Can you just spell out what is the first rule? Rules for overriding. First rule, while overriding, method names must be same, argument types must be same, that is method signatures must be same. First rule. Second rule, in overriding, return types must be same, but this rule is applicable until 1.4 version, but from 1.5 version onwards covariant return types are allowed. Next, parent class private methods not visible to the child class. Okay, so that's why overriding concept not applicable for private methods. If we are trying to define the same private method in the child class, we won't get any compile time error, right? Okay, this is, it's a valid, but it's not overriding. Next up, final methods we can't override. Okay, this is abstract methods we can override. Next, synchronized strict FOP, native modifiers won't keep any restriction in overriding. Okay, this is next. While overriding the scope of access modifier, we can't. While overriding the scope of access modifier, we can't reduce it. If you want, you can increase, no problem at all. Public to public, protected to protected, or protected to public, these type of things are acceptable. Next, if a child class method throws any checked exception, compulsory parent class method should throw same checked exception or its parent, right? That is, but no restrictions for unchecked exceptions. Are you able to understand that? Okay, these are various rules what you people should aware. Next, keep submitting. Overriding with respect to static methods. Overriding with respect to static methods. Overriding with respect to static methods. With respect to static methods. With respect to static methods. Okay, so in the last class somewhere I covered only static modifier is missing, because there are big rules are there, you people should aware. And legend this one, very important point. Sir, I have class P. And legend class P, parent class. Parent class contain one static method, public static void M1 method is there. Parent class contain one static method, class P, public static void M1. Sir, class C extends P, class C extends P. Sir, I want to override this method. What I am doing? Public void M1. I am trying to override. Sir, can you tell, is it valid overriding or not? Huh? Is it valid overriding or not? Yes or no? Okay. Make sure a static method we are trying to override as a non-static. Are you getting? If we are trying to do this, immediately compiler is going to give left and right. What is the reason for that? Sir, static method means what? Class level method. Instance method means what? Object level method. Class level method, how you can override with object level method? Okay, best example, in our organization, suppose one faculty got better opportunity, he want to go out. Assume that one faculty got better opportunity, he want to go out. If one faculty going out, then I have to think about another faculty. Are you getting that? Because another faculty. If I join one new student, is this student can fulfill faculty requirement? No, right? Student level is the different, faculty level is the different. Sir, if one student is going out, for student say, can I recruit one faculty? Meaningless. Sir, faculty level is the different, student level is the different. Class level method, you can't override with the object level method. Are you getting? That's why, is it possible to override static method, class level method with the instance method or not? No. We can't override static method as instance method. By mistake, if you are trying to override with instance method, immediately compile time error you are going to get. Sir, can you spell out what compile time error we will get? Simple Anna. M1 in C cannot override. M1 in C cannot override 1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. What is the reason? Overridden method. Sir, which one is the overridden method? Parent class method or child class method? Parent method. Overridden method is a static. Was overridden method is the static. That's why I can't override like this. Are you getting? This is the compile time error we will get. Let me execute this code. Here have a look once. Here just I am taking 1 minute. Here just have a look once. Have a look. Class P, public static void M1, class C extends P, public void M1. Here do you know, exactly same compile time error you are going to get. Observe Java C p.java. Have you observed? M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. Semicolon overridden method is static. Sir, we can't override a static method as a non-static. Okay, this is clear for all of you, right? Okay, at this point. Yeah, first point one. We can't override. We can't override a static method as a non-static. We can't override a static method as a non-static. We can't override a static method as a non-static. A static method as a non-static. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. We can't override a static method as a non-static. Otherwise, we will get compile time error. Okay, completed, right? Now take example. Class P, public static void M1. Next, class C extends P, public void M1, public static void M1, public void M1. Get that compile time error. M1 in C cannot override. M1 in C cannot override. M1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. Overridden method is static. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. Overridden method is static. Overridden method is static. Can I complete it, right? Overridden method is a static like. Okay, so make sure you people should aware clearly, right? Okay, now next second case 2. Sir, here parent class method is not static, Anna. Sir, observe this one. Parent class method is public void M1 method. Parent class method is public void M1. Child class method is public static void M1. Public static void M1. Sir, can you tell, is it valid or invalid? By this knowledge, I hope you can able to tell valid or invalid. Valid or invalid? Just now I told different levels. Instance method means object level. Static method means class level. How the object level method we can override with the class level method? Immediately compile time error we are going to get saying M1 in C. Can I spell out what compile time error we will get? M1 in C cannot override. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. What is the reason for that? Overriding method. Sir, which one is the overriding method? Child method or parent method? Child method. Overriding method is static. Overriding method is static. Are you getting? Just observe this one. Legend this. Here here parent class method is not static. Observe this one. Parent class method is not static. Are you getting? But child class method is static. Public void M1. Child class method is nothing but what? Public static void M1. Now observe immediately. M1 in C cannot override M1 in P. What is the reason? Overriding method is static. Are you getting? Earlier, what is the compile time error? Overridden method is static. Now overriding method is static. Are you getting the point, right? Okay. Yeah, this point well. Similarly, second point. Similarly, we can't override a non-static method as a static. Similarly, we can't override a non-static method as a static. We can't override a non-static method as a static. A non-static method as a static. Okay. Got this example. Class P, public void m1. Next class C extends p, class C extends p, public static void m1. We will get comparative method saying m1 in C cannot override m1 in P. Overriding method is static. m1 in C cannot override m1 in P. Overriding method is static. That's all are you getting? In the last case overridden method, but in this case overriding method is static. Take clearly comparative method. I hope is clear for you people anyway, right? So it is invalid. Sir, now my target is, okay, listen, completed, right? Comparative method also. Now my target is parent class method is, sir, parent class method is static. Child class method is also static. Are you getting? Parent class method is the static, child class method is also static. Can you tell is it valid or not? Ayo, both are static, valid or not? So a static method we can override with the static method or not? A static method I want to override with a static method, possible or not? Arey, can I get any compile time error? Can I get any runtime exception? Make sure here, let me consider. If both are static methods, sir, parent class method is the static, child class method is also static. Are you getting? Both are static method, public static void m1, public static void m1. Both are static. I am sure we won't get any compile time error. Java cp.java, we won't get any compile time error. So it is a very clear, a static method, can I override with another static method or not? Yes or no? Okay, make sure this point. If both are static methods, we won't get any compile time error. Okay, it seems overriding concept applicable for static methods, but it's not overriding, it is a method hiding. Okay, this is, even though we won't get any compile time error, but it's not overriding concept, it is method hiding. Then immediately you may ask, sir, what is the difference between method hiding and overriding? Next heading is that. Okay, add third point. If both parent and child class methods are static, if both parent and child class methods are static, both parent and child class methods are static, both parent and child class methods are static, then we won't get any, then we won't get any compile time error. Then we won't get any compile time error. We won't get any compile time error. Any compile time error. It seems overriding concept applicable. It seems overriding concept applicable for static methods. It seems overriding concept applicable for static methods. Overriding concept applicable for static methods, but it is not overriding, and it is method hiding. It is not overriding and it is method hiding. Not overriding and it is method hiding. Okay, now do you know, here just observe the comment, right? Okay, here just see, sir, here it is, what is this one, Anna? It is method hiding. It is a method hiding, but not method hiding, but not overriding. It is method hiding, but not overriding at this point. Class P, public static void m1, public static void m1. Class C extends P, Next, public static void M1. It is a method of hiding but not overriding. Completed, I hope. Method of hiding but not overriding. Overriding, like. Clear, right? Okay. I hope terminology is it, I hope clear. It is method hiding but not overriding. Then immediately you may ask, sir, what is the difference between method hiding and overriding? Okay, keep submitting. Method hiding. Method hiding. Method hiding. Hiding. Okay. Here just observe, sir, take a bit special care. Method hiding, all rules of method hiding are exactly same as overriding only. All rules. Access, modifier, scope you can't reduce. Next, method names must be same, arguments must be same, return types must be same. Whatever rules we discussed in overriding, all exactly same for method hiding also, except a small difference. What is the difference is, you should be aware. Here see this point well. Only a small difference is the difference, except that all the rules are same. Suppose here I am taking class P. Sir, here public static void M1 method. Public static void M1. System.out.println. Okay, here I am taking parent method or parent like. Class P, public static void M1 parent. Class C extends P. Class C extends P. Now public static void M1 system.out.println child. SOP of child, like this I am taking. Sir, can I use the term, is it method hiding or overriding? Oi, hiding or overriding? Hiding, because both are static methods only. It is method hiding but not overriding. Okay, that's it. Okay, well, now the point is, listen, sir, I am taking class test, public static void main string array args, public static void main. Now let me take parent P is equal to new parent. Parent P is equal to new parent. P dot M1 method I am taking. Parent P is equal to new parent. P dot M1 method. Can you tell which method will get the chance? Parent method, because parent reference, parent object, then obviously parent method will get the chance. Now the output we are going to get parent method. Don't keep any doubt. Next, child C is equal to new child. Child C is equal to new child. C dot M1. Sir, child reference, child object, then which method will come? Child method, because exact match. Which method will come? Child method, right? Up to this, no problem. Now, parent P1 is equal to new child. Have you remembered? Parent reference can be used to hold child object. P1 dot M1. P1 dot M1. If it is overriding, which method will get the chance? Child method or parent method? If it is overriding, then which method will get the chance? Child method, right? Because in overriding, method resolution is always based on runtime object. Compiler is going to check, you are calling M1 on P1, P1 is P. In the parent class, M1 is there, no problem. But runtime object is the child object. In the child class, is it overriding or not? Yes, boss. If it is overriding, child method is going to get in the chance. Clear, right? In overriding, method resolution always takes care by JVM based on runtime object. But is it overriding or method hiding? Method hiding. Are you getting? It's a method hiding. In method hiding, method resolution always takes care by compiler based on reference type. Are you getting? Runtime object won't play any role. That's why it is not a child. This one is nothing but what? Parent. Have you observed? Which reference we are using? Parent reference. Parent. Which reference I am using? Child. Child reference. Which reference I am using? Parent reference. Parent method. Are you getting? That is what a small difference between overriding and method hiding, right? In method resolution always takes care by method hiding compiler based on reference type. But in overriding, method resolution always takes care by JVM based on runtime object. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. Now observe this one. Here, just let me show that. So here I am taking 1 minute. Here just same example I am taking. Here class P public void M1. Here see public void M1 public static void M1 parent public static void M1. Okay, this is a child. Public static void M1 child, parent method, child method. So P dot M1 C dot M1 P1 dot M1 same methods only. Can you tell, is it overriding or is it method hiding? Method hiding, because both methods are what? Static methods, right? That's why it is method hiding. Okay, now let me compile Java C P dot Java compile Java test, because main method is available in test class. Main method is available in the test Java test. Have you observed? Parent, child, parent, because method resolution is always based on what? Reference type. Suppose both are not static. Both are not static. Sir, if both are not static, what it means? Overriding or method hiding? Overriding. In overriding, method resolution is always takes care by JVM based on runtime object. That's why what the answer we will get? Parent, child. Now suddenly the output should be changed. If you want, you can cross check. Parent, child. Are you getting? This is what is the difference between overriding and method hiding. Are you able to understand? So all rules are same. Only a small difference is nothing but the difference between method hiding and overriding, right? Okay, add. Keep supporting. Method hiding. All rules of method hiding. All rules of method hiding are exactly same as. All rules of method hiding are exactly same as overriding. All rules of method hiding are exactly same as overriding, except the following differences. Except the following differences. Okay, here see. Sir, here method hiding, 1 minute, legend. Method hiding, what is the second word? Overriding. Anna, here first difference, legend this point well. First difference. Sir, both parent and child class methods should be, both methods should be static. Correct or not? Both parent and child class methods should be static if it is method hiding. Both the parent and child class methods should be non-static if it is what? Overriding. Okay, next now. Method resolution always takes care by compiler based on reference type. Based on reference. Method resolution always takes care by JVM based on runtime object. That's why method hiding is also known as compile time polymorphism, because compiler is the responsible to resolve based on the reference type. Compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism or early binding. Okay, this is. Next, here, method resolution, of course, is always takes care by JVM based on runtime object. That's why it is also known as runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism or late binding is nothing but like. I hope you people aware. Any explanation is required, Anna? Okay? Yeah, keep supporting. Take the table first. Method hiding, overriding. Take the table. Method hiding, overriding. So I will dictate the points anyway. Method hiding, overriding. First point. Both the methods should be. First point. Both parent and child class methods should be. Both the parent and child class methods should be static. Both parent and child class methods should be static. Other side. Both the parent and child class methods should be non-static. Both parent and child class methods should be non-static. Parent and child class methods should be non-static. Okay, first one. Second. Compiler. Second point. Compiler is responsible for method resolution. Compiler is responsible for method resolution. Based on reference type. Next, other side. JVM is always responsible for method resolution. JVM is always responsible for method resolution based on JVM is always responsible for method resolution based on runtime object. Next, it is also known as compile time polymorphism. It is also known as compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism or early binding. Compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism or early binding. Next, other side. It is also known as runtime polymorphism, or dynamic polymorphism. It's also known as runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism or late binding. Also known as runtime polymorphism or dynamic polymorphism or late binding. Late binding. That's all. Completed, right? Next, take this program on. Take the program clearly. When the comment also, it is method hiding but not overriding. Take the program clearly. So parent, child, parent class method, child method, like parent. Completed, right? It is method hiding but not overriding. Okay. So both parent and child class methods are static. It is a method of hiding. Static. Method of hiding. Completed, right? Make sure you people should have clear clarity. It is method of hiding but not overriding. Okay. Next, add one theoretical point. If both parent and child class methods are, if both the parent and child class methods are, both parent and child class methods are non-static. Both parent and child class methods are non-static. Then can you tell? Then it will become what? Then it will become what? Overriding. Okay. Then it will become overriding. Then it will become overriding. In this case, output is. You have to tell what is the output we are going to get. Parent, child, and then child. In this case, output is parent, child, like this. Parent, child. Okay. That's all. This is what is a method hiding. Are you able to understand? A small concept, a small variation with overriding is nothing but method hiding. If both parent and child class methods are static, what will happen is nothing but method hiding. So here just a few minutes, I want to talk a bit internal. Why the words overriding and hiding? What is the reason? Why these words? Just observe. Another few minutes here, let me talk. The people who can able to think, just like Jan, otherwise you can ignore my next few minutes explanation, right? Here, see this one. Suppose I have child object is there. For this child object, you can use parent reference, you can use child reference. Correct or not? You can use parent reference or you can use a child reference, right? Now observe why the word overriding and why the word hiding. The words I have to perform postmortem on the words. Here see. Suppose I wrote something on the board. Something on the board. Now what I want to write some more. I rub that and I wrote new data. Is it overriding or hiding? Overriding. Sir, I wrote something, I rubbed that and then I am writing new data. It is called overriding. In overriding, old data is there or gone? Gone. Old data is not there. Only new data is available in overriding. But it's not a marker pen board. It is just one chart type. I pin the chart and then I start explaining. After completing this chart explanation, I will take one more chart. On that old chart, I will pin new chart and then I start explaining. So, is it method? Is it hiding or is it overriding? Hiding. Suppose here one student came, sir, can you please explain once again old chart? Like, I will remove this new chart and I will explain old chart. Are you getting? So, it is hiding. In hiding, both copies are available. Old copy is available, new copy is available. Hide. Just we are hiding old copy with the new copy. If you want, I can show old copy also. But in overriding, old copy is not available, only new copy is available. Correct or not? Overriding boss, old copy already override with the new copy. In overriding, only new copy is available, old copy not available. Are you getting right? Now take a bit special care. Sir, here parent class and a child class. Parent class and child class. In overriding, sir, once I override in the child class, if any method, sir, M1 method, I override in the child class. Once we override, automatically old copy by default will be gone. Only new copy, I mean child copy is available. In overriding, for the child, only child copy is available, parent copy won't available, because we redefine once again, right? That's why for the child object, whether you are using parent reference or child reference, in both cases child class method only will come into the picture. Correct or not? In overriding, parent p is equal new c p dot m1. Which method will come? Child method. Child c is equal to new child c dot m1. Which method will come? Child method only. In overriding, for the child object, whether we are using parent reference or child reference, which method will come? Child method only. Because parent method already gone, we override parent method with what? Child method, right? Are you getting overriding word? But suppose hiding, sir, it is the static, it is also static. If it is the static, what it means? Hiding. In hiding, for the child, both methods are available. Parent method is there, child method is there. For the child object, if I use a parent reference, then parent method will come. If I use a child reference, then child method will come. Are you getting right? Have you remembered in method hiding, if I use parent reference for my child object, parent method will come. If I use child reference, child method will come. Are you getting? In hiding, both methods are available or not? In hiding, both methods are available or not? Yes. If I use parent reference, parent method. If I use child reference, child method. But in overriding, is it both methods are available or only child method? Only child method. Have you observed? In overriding, old copy replaced with new copy, old copy gone. In hiding, old copy just hide with new copy, old copy is hidden with new copy. If you want, I can show both copies, right? Are you getting? Why the word that some people choose overriding and hiding objects? Clear, right? Okay, this is so this is why. What is the why the word hiding? Old is there, new is there. But why the word overriding? Old gone, only new copy is available. That's all. This is about overriding. I mean method hiding and overriding, the difference, right? Next, keep subheading. Overriding with respect to where arg methods. A special case. Overriding with respect to where arg methods. Overriding with respect to where arg methods. Okay.